his ash on his Macanudo right now.
That Macanudo is great.
Oh, look at that, man.
That is beautiful. And holding tight, that's when you know you got a good smoke.
Exactly. Exactly. You gotta love that. But yeah, man. So I mean, that's what's going on, man. I joked at the top of when we first came on about you looking like Cory Booker.
Because y'all went to the event, right?
Yeah, so I did.
Oh, you did?
I actually just came back from Cory Booker Town.
Nice. How was it?
It was actually really good, man. Actually really good. Again, I'm not trying to divulge, which way I'm leaning or anything like that, but I do want to see as these candidates come within our city.
Yeah.
I want to go and see what each one of them are talking about and try to get a feel for what they're doing. Because I feel like 2020 is extremely important.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All the other things that we talk about, man. But there was a few things that he said that I thought was really powerful, man. And it was like, this election has to be not about what you're voting against or what you're voting for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, especially in our community, man, there's a lot of what we're voting against.
Yeah.
The last election was about people voting against something, more so voting for a candidate.
I think in general, too, across the board, everybody was
what I'm saying? Right? So what do you stand for? What would you like to see? You know what I'm saying? And then you got to find somebody that represents that and vote for that person.
But I'm gonna give you a jab, man.
Yeah,
because people can't forget where you from. it don't leave you.
True that. Yeah. You right. Yeah. Absolutely.
But we was having a good conversation about this earlier, man. And like you said, I'm really about voting for people that affect my household, affect my everyday life. And from a presidential standpoint, we understand, if you understand politics, they don't affect your everyday life.
Right.
But they can in a way. And I really feel like Trump has been one of the few presidents that has directly affected my everyday life because of people's perceptions, the way people have handled his comments and actions he's done in the community. It's really affected his supporters and the people who didn't support him. So if that's going to continue, I'm going to vote for someone like you said, where I feel like they support the issues that I care about and the things that I feel like are important to me.
That's the way it should be. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it should be. It shouldn't be I'm voting against, the American Care Act, whatever, the
Affordable Care
Act. I shouldn't be. I'm voting against that. I'm voting against everything that Obama put in place. It shouldn't be. I'm voting against Trump. You know what I'm saying? I'm voting against everything that he represents. I'm voting against border wall security and all of that. It really should be, what are you voting for?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So what did he talk about that was so strong? Because you were saying he had a nice message.
Well, I mean, again, he touched upon immigration. He touched upon education reform. You know what I'm saying? Which I feel like is extremely important.
Absolutely.
But mostly, he talked about unity. You know what I'm saying? He talked about healing in our nation. Okay. There's been so much division that is palatable today. You know what I'm saying? So mostly that's what he talked about. It was a very positive. One of the questions that I do have, right? Because one of the things that Senator Booker mentioned was how he's running his campaign as a grassroots campaign.
Okay.
Right? And we know that was very, very successful on the first Obama run. Right? Can another candidate do that, though? I mean, is that record played? Can you capture lightning in a bottle? Because I also heard Kamala Harris, Senator Harris, basically make the same statement, the same commitment that they're not going to take any PAC money and they're not going to take any corporate funding.
So that was what I was just about to ask you. So just because I'm not taking PAC money and corporate funding, does that make me grassroots by default? They got a lot of connections for folks who want to come out and support and get folks out to help support them.
Yeah.
Are they really grassroots?
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I wonder about it, just looking at it from a financial standpoint, someone can hide money through sources a lot of ways. And it came out that people who said they were running grassroots campaigns before were actually getting money through shell organizations that were set up as nonprofits and were getting money from corporate funding or individual PACs and what have you.
So who polices that?
Exactly.
No one.
Who does? If you can get away with it, why not?
Sure.
Exactly.
Trump almost went cash poor because he was running his campaign with his own money.
His own paper.
His own money. So, it's not a cheap thing to do. And a lot of people who have run for the presidency were already millionaires, had connections with millionaires, and were able to get those connections, as you made a point of saying. Right. So, is it really grassroots? I don't know. I don't know if we can duplicate the same thing that Obama did, because the love that we have for Obama, I don't even know if we can replace that. Because it was truly a grassroots.
You mean recreated.
Yes. Yeah. It truly was a grassroots effort, and the people just coming together and say, we want this candidate to be president.
I think we romanticize it, though.
We did.
Obama's his run for his campaign, because I distinctly remember lots of people in my circle at that time when I was living in Atlanta, and they were all like, yeah, he'll never win, so I'm not going to waste my vote. I'm not going to waste my time. Trying to get behind a candidate like that who's not going to make it and go forward. Because if you remember at that time, his chief opposition was Hillary then.
Yeah.
Right.
At that time as well. So there was a lot of support behind Hillary,
Lots.
you know what I'm saying, in the black community. And there was far less support behind Obama.
Two different camps.
That was indicative of America at the time, or black America, I should say, at the time. You know what I'm saying? There was more support behind Hillary Clinton because of Bill Clinton. You know what I'm saying? Than there was behind Obama until he won.
Right.
Then everybody voted.
Well, of course, we all like to jump on the bandwagon.
Everybody voted for it.
Right.
So so again, it's crazy, man. I think in all actuality, I think Cory Booker has a great social media following. I think he's been working on that for a long time. I think he did some rather good things in the state of New Jersey. Right. Again, I don't know if he's ready for this battle.
But it sounds like he's got a good story to tell, and that's part of the battle.
Hey, and I have to give a personal shout out to Cory Booker, because he's always supported my brother-in-law, Stephen Horace, who's now sitting Congress.
Who was there?
Okay, all right.
So Cory actually came out when Stephen's first campaign to be in Congress. Obama came out as well, but he's had a lot of support, and Cory Booker has been one of those people, and vice versa. Stephen will also give him his support.
Awesome.
So I'm glad to hear Stephen was there this morning.
Yeah, he was there.
Nice. But yeah, definitely, we love to see that, right? That camaraderie amongst us.
Yeah.
When I say us, I'm talking about us. The way we sitting here today, that's what we need more of.
Exactly.
So, but anyway, off the politics, off that controversial stuff, let's talk something fun, man.
This is what happened when we ain't been on in a
while. I
Yeah.
love fun topics, man.
Yeah, come on.
Sports to me is fun.
Let's go to sports.
Yeah.
Let's go to sports.
So we got good news in sports, right? The Steelers, the drama seems to be over. Now Le'Veon is now a free agent. He can do what he wants to do. We don't have to wait on him next season.
How much money did he give up last season?
He gave up a boatload.
$18.5 million.
Le'Veon said, "Why y'all counting my money? I ain't worried about it."
Hey, but he's still an excellent player. I think he's going to get paid. Okay. I don't know about who, but I think he's going to get the money.
True.
The other dude that was kind of came out mid-season as being disgruntled was Antonio Brown. And now they put him on the trade block.
Yes, exactly.
So Antonio is now on the trade block to be traded.
I don't know if I paid much attention to that. So why is he upset? Was he just not getting enough catches? Or?
No, well, that's part of it. But it was just a very, very trying season, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
But between him and Roethlisberger and stuff like that, I feel like.
But didn't Roethlisberger go on the radio local and say that him and Brown were cool?
Well, that's what you do as a leader.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what you do as a leader.
So you don't think it was genuine?
No, I don't think so.
And Le'Veon's lost his spot as the number one receiver on that team.
Exactly.
I think Juju Smith-Schuster has shown he's a more than capable receiver. He's more of the prototypical receiver that Ben would like to throw to.
Right.
Antonio Brown's a little bit smaller at the position. He wants to play on the outside.
Yeah.
Makes it a little bit more difficult to get him the ball. And when you get as many catches as he does in a season, it gets difficult to throw him the ball.
Yeah.
Just simply defenses are going to plan for him.
Right.
But I'm kind of glad to see him leave. Oh yeah. I thought last year was very indicative of what happens when you have good trades and bad trades. I think next season is going to be very similar.
Okay.
So now you got two very good players that are going to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
I'd like them to see come to the West Coast and see what happens if they mix it up. Maybe the 49ers make a play for Antonio because they may draft his cousin out of Oklahoma. So they could make a play for both Browns, have a nice little receiver core. So we'll see what happens, though.
Wow. Okay.
That would be interesting.
I didn't realize they were cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was sleeping on that. I didn't know that. But he going to the Giants, though.
Yeah.
So,
everybody going to the
Giants last night.
Hey, Kyle Murray decided to declare for the draft for the NFL draft and not play for the A's.
Speaking of which, you heard it now. Come on. How you feel? If he was your son, what would you tell him?
I think football is a more dangerous sport. The longevity of football players is not good. But at the same time, I would never tell him to do something that he didn't love doing.
Okay.
And if you're going to play a sport, you do it for the love of the sport, right?
True that,
And if your heart is really in football, you should play football.
True. Mick, what you think?
I kind of agree, man. You know what I'm saying? Longevity-wise, obviously baseball.
Right. Yeah.
But
ain't nothing wrong with getting them career dollars year over year.
But I think that there's far too much of that in America today.
Okay.
You know, people doing what they do because of the opportunity to make huge amount of money,
right.
Not so much because it's a passion.
Okay.
You know, so I would encourage more people to follow the passion, man. You know what I'm saying? Because even if it's not the same money, it'll be enough money.
Sure.
If you're doing what you love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this
you ain't
kid,
concerned about him being undersized because he kind of small.
Well,
for the NFL, he real small.
I mean, he's not the first one.
He's not.
And the analysts have already said he's got a career ahead of him
Exactly.
as a quarterback.
Yeah.
And that's the thing you worry about when you have a 6 foot or under quarterback is are they going to continue to play quarterback at the next level? And I think his arm strength has shown.
True.
Russell Wilson was kind of the blueprint for him, right? Russell,
he is comparison.
Two-sport pro, also could have gone the baseball route, decided to go play football.
Right.
He still plays in the minor leagues in the off-season.
Exactly.
I think he was kind of the
that
blueprint.
too.
I didn't know he played in the minor.
I was going to say that exactly.
That's cool.
There's still, you know, the opportunity for this kid to play both.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Bo Jackson did.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson was kind of the weird one though, man. He was a freak of nature by all means.
Boy, y'all forgetting about my boy now.
Who's that? Who's
baby,
that?
prime time.
Exactly.
Is you mad about the money?
What is?
He just had a 30 for 30, didn't he?
What's the commonality between all of those athletes that we just stated though? Bo Jackson, Primetime, Russell Wilson, and now they all chose football first.
They did.
See what I'm saying?
All of them.
It's easier to transition from football to baseball than vice versa.
Oh, true that.
Sure.
Follow me?
That.
So yeah. So you know, he crazy like a fox right now. You know what he's doing.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
He crazy like a fox. That's it.
Hey man, I think we hit the people with a lot today.
Yeah.
I think we hit them with a lot, man.
I wanted to talk about Zion and sneaker blowing out.
I was gonna bring that up.
Wait a minute. People started shedding Nike stock like the next day. You know, but but that was crazy. You know,
Nike got a full-blown investigation on it. I'm like, well, is it
better?
We investigated the Vietnam War less than we investigated the shoe game.
That seemed like a payoff to me, but
it is
crazy. Hey, yo. Once again, guys, appreciate y'all being here. You know, let's have another excellent conversation.
I appreciate you inviting me, letting me invite myself. However I got here, I'm on Apuffaminute, baby.
Hey, Brothers of Brunch. Y'all know where to find them at. Brothers of Brunch on everything, Instagram, all that. Keep them out. The brother got a good movement going. We appreciate you on the show, man.
Absolutely. And also, man, great supporter of the Puff, y'all. So we appreciate you.
Absolutely.
You know, with that, I'm going to sign off. It's your boy, Mick. You know what I'm saying? It's
Jared. What's good, people?
And my man,
Nate. I'm glad to be here, baby.
All right, y'all. It's another Puff Minute. Remember, we are not just blowing smoke. Peace. We'll holler at you next week. We out.